Hi, I'm Dr. Bertice Berry, and I want to tell you a story. I have a friend who's starting her own business. So a few days ago, I decided to drive over to the business and say my morning prayers there and pray for her business, the success of the business, and her family. I didn't do it during my normal time because I get up super early, so I waited until around 7 and drove over. The parking lot to where her shop is was basically empty, but there was an RV to the side, parked to the side, and it was about the size of the RV that I jokingly tell my family that I'm going to one day get in my RV and drive away from y'all. No, they laugh because they're like, Mom, you don't even like to drive in a city that's not your own. And it's true. It's hard navigating your own town, but the circles and lights and roads and signs of different places can really throw you off. And I've learned after years of traveling by car from one event, lecture, college, or teaching to the next, that it is a scary thing for a Black woman to travel in towns that are not her own. So they're right. I'm not going to get in an RV and drive anywhere. Now I'll drive to the city. But then once I'm there, somebody better come pick me up. Anyway, so I pull up to her shop and I'm about to find a space where I cannot be a bother to anybody coming by and wondering what's that car doing over there. And these two little beautiful dogs come from around the side of the building. And I'm like, oh, and I open my car door and I'm like, babies, are y'all lost? What's going on? And this man in a robe with a cup of coffee, a cigarette, comes out around the side of the building. He's got no pants on. He's got on a bathrobe and a cup of coffee and a cigarette. And he's like, now they're not lost. I was like, well, sir, this is a shopping plaza and nobody's in it. And there's some dogs that just came from the side of the building. So he's standing there looking at me like, explain yourself. And so I just automatically do. I'm like, it's my friend's business. I just came over here to take a look at it and pray for her. And he's still standing there like, and I just remember myself and I look back like, and? So I said, is that your RV? He was like, yeah. And offers nothing else. I'm like, it's a good size RV. That's a nice RV. He's like, well, I need to get my dogs. And he just leaves. And I'm sitting there thinking, it must be really something to know that you look a little bit odd and out of place, but assume that everybody else is. I'm going to leave you with it. In the meantime, I'm probably not getting an RV, probably not going to drive and leave my family. I really love them. I love my church. I love my family. I love my community. But belonging and fitting in is a privilege and sometimes an entitlement that we take for granted. I love you.